Yo, what's up? So I've been scrolling through the internet, scoping out some new music, and I stumbled across a lot of type beat videos for something called new jazz. And with a name like new jazz, I was expecting something akin to Thundercat or To Pimp a Butterfly, but no, it is its own separate entity.
When do they stop tuning their instruments and play the music? That is the music.
Oh, hold up, no, this is awesome. New jazz is a hip-hop subgenre coined by rapper and producer Lunchbox, who released a mixtape of the same name. It has a lot of electronic synth chords and heavy warping basses, but it also has a bit of a glitchy sound to it as well. It feels pretty in line with what artists like Yeat and Benny X are doing together, but a bit more experimental. Just like jazz, new jazz is not afraid to keep throwing ideas at you. The genre is almost like an amalgamation of a lot of popular styles from the past few years. It's fusing hyperpop energy, rage beat synths, plug-and-B chords, drill hi-hats, and trap basses, and creating some complex, mesmerizing soundscapes. And new jazz producers are definitely making some of the most exciting beats in the hip-hop producer scene. This genre is still pretty new, so if you want to get into new jazz, of course check out New Jazz by Lunchbox and other artists like Amir, Hako, and 800 Points. This style is super cutting edge, and it could possibly be a defining genre of the 2020s. New jazz is pretty complex, adding layers and layers of melodies on top of one another. Many of the sounds are pretty simple, using supersaw chords and sine wave melodies, similar to some things you would hear in plug-and-B. I made a bunch of sounds with GMS, and you could download the sounds in my free preset pack for your troubles. I'm starting off with these mellow chords with GMS, and I'm adding a simple high-pass EQ and some fresh air. Next, let's put this cool rhythmic synth. I'm using a simple high-pass EQ as well, and I also did some automation on the filter cutoff to add some cool filter effects later. I'm also playing that same melody, but with a different preset. Next, I made two cool counter melodies using a sliding synth like something you'd hear in a plug-and-B song. And finally, here's this siren-sounding melody for some cool atmosphere. I added an EQ, delay, reverb, and flanger. Not gonna lie, the melodies in this kinda carry. The drums are simple, but it's still pretty experimental, using drill-style hi-hats and plug-style claps. I had to change my hi-hat to make it sound a bit more like a shaker. I'm using a pretty hard kick for other parts of the track. It's not really necessary for new jazz, but I just put it there because I like it. It just makes the beat hit harder for me. There's no rules in new jazz, just do what you want. I'm also adding some more hi-hats just for some extra energy. I love this little section I made too, it just sounds so cool. Some other drums include this lo-fi drum loop and some cool cymbals that I'm using as transitions. I usually lump my basses and 808s in the drum section of my videos, but I felt like basses for this track needed their own dedicated section, because I ended up using 6 different basses and making 4 total bass lines. The first bass line is actually using 3 different basses. I'm using this Yeat sounding 808 for the main pattern, this grittier 808 for some bass slides, and this nice ringing 808 for a little accent note. I added some D-Blue glitch for some tape stop effects. I'm also using Sawer and putting this cool Benny X style bass sound, and I would just sprinkle it into the beat like some parsley. In a couple of new jazz type beats, they sometimes have a house styled breakdown, so I decided to make a house stab bass in Vital. You can download this preset as well. I also made the kick drum match. You know, that's one of the things I love about this genre. It's not afraid to pull from as many genres as possible to make something completely unique. It's very jazz of them. The last bass is just this simple, chill 808 that plays in the beginning of the track. And the final sounds of this beat are some wonky reverb vocals, and this riser effect. Put it all together, and here's the final beat.